Hey, Jorge, thanks for being here, man. For those of you who don't know Jorge, he's the founder of Graphene-X. He's a family man. He's the Kickstarter king. I believe one of his Kickstarters got funded, I think, around 600% in less than an hour, if that's correct. He's Chilean. He recently tore his meniscus, so I got to ask him how his meniscus is doing after the podcast. And he's just all around a great dude. So appreciate you being here, Jorge, and I'd love to know if I kind of missed anything with that introduction.
Jordan, happy to be here, and thanks you for that very generous and unfair introduction. I would say a little bit too much, but thank you
Of
anyway.
course. Yeah, I guess just to jump right into this, man. We started working together almost a month ago, and immediately our cold prospecting campaign started seeing a 20x return, which we love to come in and say we can kick butt, but I think that it just speaks volumes about not only your product but also Graphene-X as a brand as a whole. And so I'd love to kind of hear how Graphene-X got started.
Well, we've been in the market for nearly 3 years now. Our first approach to do anything was through a Kickstarter. Actually, it was 3 years ago in October of 2019 when we launched our first product, the Alpha Series jacket, which was the first 3-layer graphene integrated jacket. It's kind of funny because it's that kind of moments in your life where you have an amazing product. You have everything to solve a real problem, but you have never been in this context. Like in this case, selling technical apparel, right? And Kickstarter was at that moment the perfect place to see and confirm that this was a problem worth solving, not only for us but for other bunch of people, and to gain the necessary traction to jump into a new industry that was completely, again, redundant, but new to us, where we had no connections and no real experience.
Yeah, man. So I guess for you to not have any connections going into this Kickstarter, what do you think makes a successful Kickstarter? What do you think is the secret sauce or the key ingredients for just a Kickstarter to really take off like it did for you?
Well, in your very unfair introduction, you call me the Kickstarter king. I believe I'm very far away from that. But in my opinion, the real kings of Kickstarter is a company called Peak Design. They have been launching products in Kickstarter since 2010, since the very beginning. And I had the luck of speaking with their CEO 3 years back, Peter Daring, and I asked him the exact same question you're asking me now, and his answer was focus on the product. And 3 years now into this world, I can confirm that that's exactly the number one priority. It's not marketing, it's not the buzzwords, it's not your social media or whoever brand ambassador you're getting to show your products, but it's your actual product. And if it's that particular product, it's solving any kind of problem or issue that anybody can be having. So product, man, that's 1, 2, and 3 in relevance, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, man. You got to have a good product. That's got to be the base of everything. I mean, you could have the best marketing in the world, but if you have, some crap product, then good luck, right?
That's it. I mean, you're going to make a one-time sale, and you want to be here in the long term, right? You want to develop, a sustainable business. You want to develop, and especially if you have the kind of roots that we have by Kickstarter, because it's a place where you get a different kind of involvement with your backers. They become part of what you are doing in a very nice way, not like a shareholder, like he's just looking for profits or making a fast exit. But these guys really want you to deliver a great product and to see the company grow with time.
Hey there, quick interruption. First of all, I hope you're enjoying the show. Make sure to leave a rating of how you honestly feel. Hopefully, it's providing you at least some value. Second of all, if you're in the e-commerce space or you're an e-commerce owner, I want to talk to you about two companies that I'm the co-founder of. One is Carbon Box Media, which actually specializes in growing e-commerce brands. So if you're in the e-commerce space and you're not seeing the return on ad spend that you'd like to see, whether that's via TikTok, Instagram Meta, Google Ads, or you just don't have a quality, consistent pipeline of quality creatives, we shoot those for you. So I'd love to just have a one-on-one with you and just see if we can help each other out and just provide value to each other. Secondly, I'm the co-founder of Augality, which is an augmented reality firm that specializes in creating augmented reality experiences for e-commerce brands. So if you're looking to increase your ROAS, go ahead and head to carbonboxmedia.com. If you're looking to dip your toes into Web3 with your e-commerce store, I'd love to see you in Augality. Augality is Augality. It's augmented and reality morphed into one word, Augality, right? So thank you so much. Hope you're enjoying the show. And now back to the show. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. God, I love that, man. I love hearing that. Okay, so I'm gonna switch directions here for a little bit. So you were living in Hong Kong for a while, is that correct?
Yeah. We're originally from Chile. Me and my wife were both the founders of the company, but we moved to Hong Kong and we lived there for 5 years. Things got a little bit weird with this COVID situation. So we decided to came back to Chile for a season or two, who knows, I think that today in the world today is any plans over 6 months in advance is just, speculation. So for now we are in Chile, paying pending debts with the family. Yeah, it had been too many years without coming here. We even had two daughters in Hong Kong, which my parents and Claudia's parents haven't met before. So enjoying family, continue to work in Graphene-X gladly. We have a team that's based all around the world. So having one more or two more of us located in the other side of the world is not that complicated. So yeah.
Yeah, we have the exact same model, man. We have teammates in France, Greece, Oakland, San Francisco area. I'm in Lake Tahoe. I'm moving to Argentina in a week, and then in January going to Spain. I know you don't like that.
Brave guy. No, I love Argentina, man. But I mean, planning a move today to Argentina, it speaks highly of your spirit of adventure.
Thank you.
Jorge.
I appreciate that, Jorge. I take pride in my spirit of adventure, so I appreciate you saying that. Cool, man. So I think this was the first time we actually hopped on a call, face to face. We were speaking in LinkedIn for a little bit, but when we actually spoke with each other, you mentioned that you want to make sure that we're matching your company's ethos, and I kind of love to dive more into that. And just how important do you think ethos is to startups or just businesses in general?
Oh, I think it's paramount. I mean, if you're not convinced about your ethos and have a clear north of where you're going, I mean, just pack your things and go home. Man. So we truly believe that is the way. There are more challenging times than others. There are moments where you are going to screw up. That happens. But as long as you have a clear north and you know the direction you're heading, you are good. And if you want to take this one step deeper, make sure the partners you work with have also their north clear. It makes things so much easy, I always say, I mean, we put our money where our mouth is. That's why we have a lifetime guarantee. I mean, if the product is not up to expectations, I mean, there we are. I mean, it's on us. And one of the things that caught my attention when you guys approach is that you said, okay, you know what? Let us prove our value to you without any risk. And that's exactly the same kind of ethos. It's in a different context, it's in a different kind of place, but it's exactly the same thing as our lifetime guarantee. If you are not good at it, well, you didn't lose anything. At least we tried. And I think that was exactly what clicked for us to start working with you guys.
Cool. Yeah, man, we're happy to be here. I can tell you that. And I can tell you the whole team's happy to be here too, man. But, so how many people did you start Graphene-X with, and where are you guys currently at now?
Well, at the moment, it was just me and Claudia, my wife, both of us. Plus, I think it's important to mention that we had the luck, again, we were based in Hong Kong back then, probably going to be back there in a couple of months, but that's relevant for now. So we had the luck of being very close to this huge exhibition that's called the Canton Fair that happens in Guangzhou in China. And I was able to meet probably 15 or 20 of the best apparel producers in China. And one of them, which was the one that we really clicked with, was the one that truly believed in our vision. We were, and we are not yet, Nike. We didn't have $1 million in our bags, to say, hey, help me out to jumpstart this idea. But we had a vision, we had a clear north, and these guys believed in us. So we had the luck of having that before even selling our first jacket. Today we're a team of 7, plus 3 different external teams working with us in the whole development of Graphene-X. We're just launching now our second business unit. First business unit is B2C, is our website, is our Kickstarters, is our online sales. We're just starting now with our second business unit, which is corporate sales. Honestly speaking, it came to us rather than we looked at it. One of our first client, actually, which I prefer not to mention the name, is a Formula One sponsor. That kind of companies that normally don't reach to you. Actually, I thought it was a scam. And after the third email, I just decided to answer just to see what happened. And it was real. And they just wanted to empower a bunch of their teams with our goods, because they wanted to show a more modern face to their teams. And that's how the unit started. Today we have over 10 different companies empowering their teams with our goods.
God, man, that's awesome. I love to hear that. So I kind of want to backtrack a little bit to you and your wife, Claudia, who's also your business partner. And you touched on something I think is very, very important. And that's just making sure that your business partner, or just somebody on your team, that you both shared the same goal. And I know that there's kind of a cardinal rule that says don't go into business with your friends or your family. And I'd love to kind of hear, I guess, going back to the secret sauce, is there a secret sauce to just making sure that, you can separate business and family, or do they both come together? I just kind of love to hear your experience with that.
I think it's kind of true. It's impossible to completely divide both waters. Nonetheless, I think one thing that we did well since the beginning was to focus most of our time in what we enjoyed doing. So we have different roles in the company. We do different things for the company, and we focus in what we like and what we're good at, right? So we don't really cross in every single moment of our days. We cross in board directories or important meetings or to discuss important matters, right? But in our day-to-day, we don't cross. We are both empowered to take the decisions we believe are the best in our areas. And I think that helped a lot. since the beginning. Of course, there are moments where very challenging things happen that you just can't take away your eyes. So, just to mention one, in our first Kickstarter, we had a launch, a great campaign, sold our first jacket in almost 70 countries. We chose a fulfillment partner, and this guy decided to abandon the job of fulfilling the jackets when the job was half done. So we had to do everything. These guys even stole from us over 300 or 400 jackets, which we were able to recover at the moment. But very, very stressing times at the moment. And I think that the hard work we both put in that moment with a starting pandemic. Claudia was 6 months pregnant. We were living in a friend's apartment because we were supposed to go back to Chile, but then Chile had some social problem. So we were in a very, very small apartment. Claudia pregnant, all these challenges in the fulfillment. Our dog, our little girl, in a 30 or 40 square meter apartment. Probably the most challenging months of our life.
Yeah, I believe it.
But after that, I think everything has been easier, and we take pride of how we overcome that very, very hard times and use it as a means, to understand that we really enjoy what we do, and we're lucky to be doing what we do, from literally any part of the world we are. A couple of months ago, we were in Thailand in work holidays. I don't know what's the blend word of that, of work and holidays, but we were in Thailand having an amazing time, and we were launching our 5th Kickstarter campaign, filming a video in places you only see in Bond movies, so we're lucky to be doing that, and same today.
God, I love that, man. I believe it's called a workcation. Yeah.
Workation. That's it.
Cool, man. Yeah. I think, going back to your hardship, with your dog, your baby, your wife, small French apartment, I think what really makes somebody, like, one of the defining factors of just a successful person versus somebody who's not going to be successful is just, are they going to use this hardship and let it beat them down? Or are they going to use this hardship and essentially let it fuel their fire? Right. And I think, I know personally, I can let that fuel my fire, but I can't even imagine, having, a baby girl, a wife who's 6 months pregnant, a dog, and you're in this, you can't even go home because there's issues with going home to Chile, man. So just props for doing that, because that must have been really tough, and way to use that as fuel instead of let that beat you guys down. Because I know a few people who would, really let that get the better of them. So props, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And, I'm on my last question here. If you had to go back to day one of you starting Graphene-X, with all the knowledge that you've accumulated over the years, how would you start, or what would you do differently?
That's a tricky question, man, because I do believe that things go on a way or another because it's meant to be, I think that rather than changing anything we've done in the past, because I don't know if you heard of Stoics. I read a lot of Stoic.
Yeah, Marcus Aurelius is my guy.
And yeah, right. And it's about truly understanding what's in your control and what isn't. When you have a situation like the one that you just defined, and there's a pandemic, and it seems that it's just out of your control, and changing anything from the past, it's also out of your control, and it's not worth any kind of energy. But I think it's part of being responsible of truly empowering your future actions with what happened in the past. Learn to give value to true partners, to lasting partnerships. In our case, to put focus on product, to sacrifice profits if you need to deliver on your promises. Basically at the end of the day, it's act correctly. It's kind of sad, but you don't see this every day, and it just happens to be curious when you find someone or a company that actually thinks and acts like that. I think that's the best advice I can be, is do things properly, and it's common sense to really know what's proper or not.
Powerful stuff, man. Cool. Well, Jorge, I appreciate you being here. I really do. Obviously, we're going to keep talking via Slack, but any final thoughts, any final shout outs you want to give? If you want to, I don't know, plug your social medias or anything like that, your website.
Yeah, sure. Please visit us, www.graphene-x.com, or our Instagram at graphene.x. We are not experts on social media, so don't expect fireworks there. Do subscribe to our email. That's the direct communication channel between us, the founders of the company, and our backers. We try to reply every single message directly, because we believe that communication and transparency is fundamental. We define ourselves as a backer-centric company. We know and we pride ourselves about being a company that wouldn't be here without our backers,
Right.
And this is something that we will never cease to repeat. We are proud of that, and the backers that have been with us for a couple of years now know what we mean. Go to our website, check out what are we doing. If you have any questions, don't be shy, just shoot them out, and we'll be happy to try to answer them. Come and check out what's happening.
Come and check out Graphene-X, folks. All right. Thanks, Jorge. Appreciate you being here.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
Thanks to you, Jordan. Take care, man. Appreciate it. Bye.